Welcome back to the Expert's Edge. For those of you hoping to relocate to the bustling streets of Hotlanta, hold your horses. While its charming southern hospitality may draw you in quicker than a mosquito to bare skin, this sultry city has its fair share of drawbacks. Before you pack up the moving van and head southeast, consider the top 5 reasons I wouldn't move my happy behind to Atlanta. From schools grading lower than Alex Trebek's funeral suit, to roads jammed tighter than the lid on Grandma's fig preserves, I aim to give you an unfiltered look at why Atlanta might not be peachy, keen for every peach. Bless your heart if you still want to move here after this. Just make sure to pack some bug spray, and a traffic app, and a tutor. And we'll start with Atlanta's terrible traffic, which will drive you crazy. I moved to Atlanta a few years ago thinking how bad could the traffic possibly be. Well, bless my heart, I had no idea. This city's idea of rush hour is more like rush 3 to 7. The highways turn into parking lots, and you'll be stuck bumper to bumper wondering if you'll ever make it to your destination. The connector is a nightmare. The downtown connector, also known as I-75-85, is a death trap. This highway runs right through the center of Atlanta and is almost always congested. One little fender bender can bring the whole highway to a standstill for hours. I once sat on the connector for 45 minutes without moving an inch, just so I could get to IKEA. Was that Swedish meatball worth it? Probably not. Atlanta's road system seems to have been designed by someone throwing darts at a map. There are 75 streets with Peachtree in the name, and most only have 2 lanes. How did city planners not see the problem here? Trying to drive across town requires the patience of a saint and a good audiobook. Unless it's an emergency, I usually just stay home. Bless my heart, what a mess. Therefore, too many peach trees, not enough lanes. My next reason is Atlanta's peach obsession, which gets confusing fast. Atlanta's peach obsession knows no bounds. Everything here seems to be named after those fuzzy little orange fruits. Peachtree Road, Peachtree Street, Peach Lane. The variations are endless. Bless their hearts, Atlantans just can't help themselves. When I first moved here, the peach place names confused the heck out of me. More than once I ended up hopelessly lost, driving in circles trying to find peach something or other. It took a while to figure out that half the streets in this city are named after peaches. My navigation system still struggles with it, telling me there are over 75 streets with peach in the name. No kidding. The peach mania even extends to Atlanta's sports teams. Their WNBA team is, you guessed it, the Atlanta Dream. And their minor league baseball team, the Gwinnett Stripers. I guess stripers are a kind of fish, but it still makes me think of peaches. Everything in this city seems to come back to those blasted peaches in the end. While Georgia may be the peach state, did Atlanta really need to go this far? Their peach passion borders on obsessive, but I suppose that's southern hospitality for you. They just can't help showering you with their state fruit. Bless their hearts. Next reason on my list is the bugs. Beware of Atlanta's cockroaches and other bugs. Listen, I've lived in LA and Portland, 2 places not exactly known for creepy crawly things that go bump in the night. So when I visited Hotlanta for the first time, I was not prepared for the plethora of pests that would be invading my space. First, there are the mosquitoes, gnats, and lightning bugs that seem to multiply faster than gremlins getting wet after midnight. But the real shocker was my first encounter with a palmetto bug. This ominous-sounding creature is really just a cockroach on steroids, about the size of a small rodent. These not-so-little buggers come out at night to terrorize unsuspecting visitors and locals alike. One minute, you're enjoying a peaceful evening on your patio. The next, you're engaged in hand-to-hand combat with beasts that could carry off small pets. The palmetto bug's crunchy exoskeleton makes it hard to dispatch, even with a direct hit from a heavy object. Rumor has it they can survive nuclear holocausts and repopulate the planet. If creepy crawlies aren't your thing, you may want to avoid Atlanta in the warmer months when these insects are most active. The humidity creates ideal conditions for breeding more bugs than you can shake a can of Raid at. My advice? Invest in quality bug spray, mosquito netting, and a mean swing with a rolled-up magazine. The bug life in Atlanta is no joke. Bless your heart if you're not ready for it. My next reason is the schools. The schools here are bad, y'all. There are about 155 public schools in Hotlanta, and most of them get Fs, as in fail, flop, flunk. The average test score is 44% lower than the rest of the country. Bless their hearts, some schools cut their dropout rate in half recently. That's swell and all, but Atlanta schools still have a long way to go before any parents would consider them good. Education is important, people. How are the kiddos supposed to get good jobs and be upstanding citizens if they can't do basic math or read beyond a 5th grade level? The schools need help, and fast. Maybe the city should divert some funds from building yet another stadium or overpass to actually improving its schools. Just a thought. Look, I'm no education expert. I don't have kids and I barely passed geometry. But any fool can see the schools here need work. The kids deserve better. The future of this city depends on the next generation getting a proper education. Come on, Atlanta, get it together. The kids are our future, so invest in them. Bless your hearts, do something. And my last reason on this list is the weather. The weather in Atlanta is about as bipolar as my ex. One minute it's sweltering hot, the next there's a random thunderstorm flooding the streets. The summer heat will have you sweating through your clothes the second you step outside, wondering why anyone would choose to live in this sauna of a city. Come winter, just when you've finally adjusted to the heat and think you've survived the worst of it, the temperatures plummet. Now everything is frozen over, and you're hunting for your winter coat that you haven't needed for the past 6 months. The weather has more mood swings than a hormonal teenager. Spring and fall are fleeting, each lasting about a week and a half before summer and winter come roaring back. You'll get a tease of perfect weather for a few days, tricking you into thinking this city might actually be pleasant to live in. Then, wham! 95 degrees with 100% humidity, or 30 degrees with wind chills in the teens. The erratic weather is enough to drive anyone mad. You never know how to dress in the morning, or what the day will bring. My advice? Keep an emergency ice pack, tank top, parka, rain boots, and sun hat on hand at all times, and maybe a Xanax or two to get you through the emotional roller coaster that is Atlanta's weather. Bless your heart if you can handle it. Well, there you have it, folks. 5 reasons to stay away from Hotlanta. Now, don't get me wrong, I love visiting Atlanta. The people are lovely, even when they're insulting you. The food is to die for, and the history can't be beat. But would I want to live there full-time? Bless my heart, no. The traffic is a nightmare, everything's named Peach something. The schools are struggling. And the bugs, well, they just ain't right. So if you're looking for Southern hospitality without all the mess, may I suggest Savannah or Charleston? They've got all the charm and none of the peaches. Y'all take care now.